Everybody. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Hey everybody, and welcome to tonight's Let's Talk Autism. Let me get in here. What this is, if you are brand new to our Let's Talk Autism, it's just another way for us to come together and socialize and talk about things that matter to us, as well as we break the monotony every now and then. Also, have a laugh or two. Um, For those of you who don't know me, I am Nita. I am one of the admins of this wonderful establishment. As you come in, make sure you hit the thumbs up, show some love. Feel free to share, invite some people over. Linda won't be with us this evening. I'm not sure about Mr. Charles. He may show up momentarily, but in the meantime, how's everybody doing? I have to say, I have been working my butt off with all of these pictures. It has been so overwhelming of all the beautiful faces of autism pictures we received. So we are going to be going into May with the photos because I just have not had enough time to sort through all of them and get them right for this month. So I've been pushing out as many as I possibly could. I was trying to reach the end of April, but I know just by looking, and I haven't even gotten to the ones that's in the inbox in the email yet. I'm still working just on the ones that have been submitted in the group. We didn't have this many last year. Matter of fact, I think it was either last year or year before last. A couple of the members submitted twice just so we would have some to go to the end of the month. But this is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see all of these beautiful faces. So I want to remind everybody, please make sure you go over to our main page and show some love to all of those beautiful faces of autism. I mean, we are flooded on that page on Instagram and TikTok. The pages are flooded with beautiful faces. We just need you guys to come over and show some love. Just scroll and like or love or share care heart, however you want to do it. Oh, there's Mr. Charles. Give me 1 second, Mr. Charles. But make sure you guys take a visit. If you are looking at this video, this live video on our main page after the video, make sure you go down and share some love, or even while you're watching the video, take a couple minutes. I mean, because there's tons of them, and just show some likes and some loves, and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful turnout this year. So again, we'll be going into May. So I'll be having beautiful faces of autism in May. It's Awareness Acceptance Month for us anyway, all year long. So yeah, we'll be going into May with them. Let me see. We are waiting on Mr. Charles. Let's see who's here. Hey, Sonia. And I just posted your baby. Did you get my tag? Hey, Kelly. Thank you. A little better. I still feel it in my throat a little bit, but I have a cup of coffee too. How are you, Mr. Charles?
I'm doing fine. How about you, Nita?
Pretty good.
Better now?
Well, I'm feeling much better, body-wise and everything. I'm feeling so much better.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm having a little trouble. It seems like I had to put it in portrait mode to be able to put comments in that you would see. And so that's what I did. And anyway, then I turned it to landscape mode to put myself in.
Okay. I was wondering. I said, usually Mr. Charles is right there.
Yeah.
Hey, Kelly. Hey,
Kelly.
Lori.
Hi, Lori.
So, I put up a post the other day about self care, and I want to reiterate this. I want to repeat this and say over and over again that self care is essential for all of us, every last one of us. I have an instance where I put off getting some new glasses. I've been out my glasses for a whole year and can't see. I mean,
Oh
I
my.
can see, but my sight is terrible. I just been putting it off. Busy with home life and everything, but we have to try to. I say that to say this: we have to find time to make for ourselves, to make sure we are good, because we do our loved ones no good if we are not in a position or if we are not feeling our best, physically or mentally. So make sure you make those doctor's appointments. Make sure you take you some breaks, even if you have to go hide out in the bathroom for a few minutes. Take a break. Enjoy that hot bath or that hot shower you've been waiting on. If you have older kids or a significant other in the house, tell them, hey, I need this time. I need 10 minutes. And go take those 10 minutes. If you have to sneak and do it, just go do it. But you have to take time for yourself. Make sure you go into the doctor. Um, Make sure you're getting your physicals, your blood pressure taken. Make sure you're having those tests done. I know now that I'm over 50, I have to have a lot of things done that I put off. And ladies, what is this? Okay, you're gone. And I'm sorry, guys. Okay, and ladies, mammograms are very important. Men too. Men too. If it doesn't feel right, go to the doctor. You will do your loved ones no good if you are not good yourself. I know we try to push and push, but you can push till you're stressed out, till I mean, or like me, I don't push myself till I really can't see now. But I took myself to the eye doctor Friday and I got two pairs of glasses, one for the house and one for when I'm going out the house in the car. So just remember and keep that in mind. I know a lot of you say, "Oh, I can't do it. I got this, I got that." No excuse. No excuse. Then it take a 5-minute break. You can find 5 minutes for yourself. Um, and try your hardest, especially for those important appointments. Don't miss them. Don't miss them. Sometimes we have to take our kids with us, but it's important. It's important. It's very important. And I'm stressing this because I'm talking to myself too. Talking to myself. I was upset. I laughed at myself. I'm upset at myself, but I laughed at myself when I got to the eye doctor because it was over a year. I lost my glasses. I lost them.
Oh wow.
And, I can barely see driving, especially at night.
Yeah, yeah. You need to get your glasses,
Yes,
and just do
very
it.
important. Uh, okay. Hey, Teresa.
Hi,
Victoria.
Teresa, Victoria.
I really enjoyed your video last week, Mr. Charles.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, Kelly. Yeah,
So, for
thank
those
you.
of you who missed Mr. Charles, video is still posted here on the main page or in the group. May have to scroll a little bit, but make sure you check out Mr. Charles. And as always, if you have any questions about an adult on Wait, my son. Adult on the spectrum, Mr. Charles is open. So don't hesitate to ask.
And also we might mention the Focus Live too from the other night. That
Dinah,
I
yes.
can't remember, the mother and son. Yeah,
Yep.
Dinah and
That's here too. Yes,
yeah.
Deandra. I'll be right back, you guys. 1 second.
Okay. But yeah, that too, the mother and son Focus Live from this past Friday, really good.
Go wait.
And he's got great ambitions, and I know he can do it.
Yes, she's coming every night. So yes, make sure you guys check those out. They are in the group or the main page. Also, we have a couple more days. If any of you are interested in doing a Focus Live this month, I mean, you can talk about anything. You can talk about your journey with your loved one. If you are on the spectrum yourself, you can talk about your journey. You can share some do-it-yourself projects that you do with your loved one. If you have an event coming up, an organization, and you're doing something awesome for autism, come on up and share with us. I'll give you the floor. So just let me know if you are interested. Lori says, hey, everyone, wow, you look amazing for your age. Well, I'm 55. Thank you, Lori. 55, and I'll be 56 in October. Gosh, time flies. I was just 35 yesterday.
I know. Well, you're younger than my stepdaughter.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, my stepdaughter. Let's see. She's 57, and she'll be 58 in September.
Okay.
And yeah,
Get down. Get down. Hi,
stepdaughter
Tevra.
Kim. Hi, Tevra.
Hello, Tay.
Hi, Tay.
Welcome, welcome. Well, this is open discussion where we talk about anything that matters to us. And like I said, sometimes we break the monotony and have a laugh or two. This is just our social gathering where we come on Sundays and get together like we in the house with each other and just talk. I had to take it's still available. It's still available.
Yeah, it's recorded, and so
Yeah.
is the one. Dinah and I can't remember, Dinah and Nathaniel.
Nathaniel.
Yeah,
Nathaniel,
but
yeah.
that's there too.
Hmm. I hope David is okay, Teresa. Good evening. Good evening. All is well. All is well. I was also just saying how important it is for self-care. And if this dog don't leave me alone, would you move? He is so spoiled. Every time I sit here and start talking on live, he wants to get up on my lap. All right. So we had a live with Nathaniel and Dinah the other day. And she talked about, well, the topic was autism after 18. Nathaniel is a very ambitious young man who is on the spectrum. He has so much going on, got a business mind. Um, he's driving. He has some medical issues that slowed him down a little bit. Very interesting. He's very well spoken. So make sure you guys check that out. Do any of you guys have children over 18? And there's Dinah right there. Any of you guys have children
Hi, Dinah.
over 18 on the spectrum? Victoria. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a great lie.
yeah, and again, I wish Nathaniel the best in all his endeavors. I think he can do it.
Mm. You have a 30-year-old. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, he's got 47 years to go to get to where I am.
Tell him a little bit about you, Mr. Charles, in case no one knows. Mr. Charles is on the spectrum himself. Give him a little background, Mr.
Yeah,
Charles.
yeah. I grew up at a time when very little was known about autism, and my parents tried to get answers as to what was different about me. They found was three different mental health professionals who found three different ways of blaming my mom for the difficulties I was having socializing and the other peculiarities about me and so then later they found a couple of psychologists who were helpful, but they too couldn't identify what the issue was. They didn't blame mom though, and they were helpful, but still. And it wasn't until I was almost 50. Well, my daughter went to see the movie Rain Man, and after she saw the movie, she began urging me to see it. And then finally, one evening, I turned on the TV, and the movie Rain Man was coming on, and so I said, "Well, let me watch it," because Dorothy's been urging me to watch this movie, and I quickly saw why. And that was what led me to my diagnosis. Anyway, I was 49 when I was diagnosed. That was 28 years ago. So
What was it? I know you mentioned what exactly was the refrigerator mom?
yeah,
What did
that
that
was one
mean?
of the theories, and in my when I was a kid. Of course, I never heard about autism until I was over 30.
Hmm.
Because that's one thing they, that if those psychologists and psychiatrists had diagnosed autism, they still would have blamed mom for it.
So you guys just remember, autism is no fault of yours, not mom's, not dad's. Um, there can be some contributing factors, but it is not your fault. My son, he does this every time it's time to go to bed. Raid the kitchen.
Well, sounds like me at his age. I had a voracious appetite at his age.
But I don't understand. It seems like he's fine before he gets sleep. Now he does take medication for sleep. So maybe 30 minutes ago, 30 minutes into his medication, you can see that he's sleepy, but he wants to go straight to the kitchen and eat. And he just ate like about an hour and a half ago. I just don't get it.
Yeah, well, I have an evening snack too, but now generally my evening snack consists of fresh fruits. Like
Uh,
I'll probably have a mandarin, a plum, and a nectarine for my evening snack tonight.
oh yeah, I haven't had a good nectarine in a long time. That
We
sounds
have
good.
a farmer's market near here where you can buy them even when they're not normally in season. They got some nectarines from California there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Teresa says my son David was doing PE
Ooh.
and he was running and he tripped and fell and dislocated his jaw. Oh my
Ooh.
goodness. So I had to take him to ER. Oh, poor baby. Is he okay now? I hope he's doing better. Teresa, I'm sorry that happened. Kelly says I'm going to be 60 in January. I'm curious about other parents that are older with teenage and young adults with autism diagnosis. What exactly is your question? Because we have a couple in here. Tevra said her son, I don't know, son or daughter, I'm sorry, Tevra, is 30. Dinah, um, we have a couple parents. Let's see. Queen eats until it's time to sleep.
Uh,
These kids. Tavra says they still blame the parents when my son was born, I was so adamant and inquisitive about what was going on and evaluating genetics and environmental factors. He was having seizures.
Yeah, the
Okay.
thing is, genetics are something that you as a parent have no control of. You can't control what genes you pass on to your kids.
Hmm.
And environmental factors, again, you have only limited control over them. And sometimes there are environmental factors you don't know about. Think about the people who are living near the Love Canal in Niagara Falls.
Okay, you have a son. Okay. Yep, and there's Dinah, 61, looking good, girl. Yes, he's doing better, but he has medication for backup just in case his jaw starts hurting him again. Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
All
Wow.
right. Well, that's good. They gave him something just in
Wow.
case. Hmm. So make sure you guys check out Dinah's live she did. It is recorded and it is floating around here on the main page or the group or in the group. So, by it being Autism Awareness Month, still another question I put in the group: how old were your children or loved ones when you received the diagnosis? And were you surprised? Did you understand what autism was? What were your emotions at that time? What did you do? I'm trying to get Queen to wear her glasses. Now, DeAndre has glasses too. And matter of fact, he broke his. So I'm going to take him in tomorrow to the eye doctor just to get another exam and get him some new glasses too. But he actually did good keeping them on and keeping up with them. Okay, parents, how do you cope with preparing for making decisions to have your child taken care of without you? Ladies in the chat, Dinah, Tevra, that's
Yeah.
something I need to. Um, I know we've had quite a few discussions about this, preparing. What do we do? Any thoughts on that, Mr. Charles?
Yeah. And again, of course, what's needed varies from one autistic individual to another, and how you go about it varies from one jurisdiction to another. Depending on what state or province or country you live in. Even the terminology, as even in your discussions when we've had Linda on here, it's you know the terminology in Michigan and the terminology in California are not the same, and somebody else said the terminology in Texas is still different, and so every state has its own set of terminology even.
Mm-hmm.
So you pretty much have to consult a lawyer and find out what the options are and what the terminology is and how you go about it in your state.
Yeah, but what about who will take care of them? I mean,
Yeah, that's
how
the
do we
thing too.
prepare for somebody, for our loved ones to be taken care of them? Do we choose them ourselves? In my case, um, DeAndre has three siblings. They all agreed to help out if push comes to shove. And we have to make arrangements to make sure that happens. But in case they can't do it, you know, what are my options? I know looking for what would you call it, a care home when they get older would uh would be one thing I should be doing right now. Queen was diagnosed in fourth grade. I always knew. Okay, so you said fourth grade. So Sonia, why were you so late getting the diagnosis? Fourth grade. Did you have to wait for doctors or the school or
Also, it depends on what she means by always, because uh, I mean, obviously, you don't know the moment a baby is born,
mm,
and so
oh yeah.
how far back that word always goes, it depends on what she means by it, because it might mean one thing to you, it might be something different to her.
Victoria says Declan and Andrew were both 5 when I got their diagnosis. I was not surprised at all. I knew. Getting the professionals to see it was the hard part. Molly was diagnosed, but most
Is not
definitely,
diagnosed.
was not, I'm sorry, not diagnosed, but most definitely has autism. But I didn't know until she was about 7. Okay. Now, see, in my case, my son was initially diagnosed when he was like 2.5, officially diagnosed when he was 3. I had no idea what autism was. So when the doctors started talking autism, it was like a foreign language to me. I'm like, autism, what? What is that? So after a while, and then I was in denial because I was like, there's nothing wrong with my baby. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't care what y'all talking about. My baby is okay. Even though he stopped talking and everything. I just didn't want to believe it. But after a while, I accepted the fact that, my child was different. I learned what autism was. Um, but yeah, I went through that. What is autism? Um, let me see. Okay, Sonia says trying to make excuse me, make my child as independent as possible. But she has sisters and brothers to take her on when I'm gone. Okay. Yeah, and I think that's the same thing with me, Sonia. So um even though I'm working on guardianship right now for DeAndre, I know I have to have something on paper also for them if that's going to be the case. But still, because I know life, they can say one thing today and turn around tomorrow. So then I'm stuck with, okay, what could I do? What could I have on paper just in case? I wanted someone else to pick it up and say something. What was that? What were we talking about?
No, not sure.
Teresa says,
Maybe,
huh?
maybe
You said,
pick up on the fact that the child had autism. Maybe that's what she means by.
oh, okay. Wanted someone else to pick it up. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Because that's why you waited till fourth grade. Okay. I got it. Got you now. David was diagnosed with autism at the age of 8. And I told the psychologist that I knew that my son had autism ever since he was 1 year old. But some people told me that there was no such thing as autism. Wow. I told them all that they were wrong. And now we don't talk to each other at all. Wow. So I'm assuming this is people close to you, like friends or family, telling you this.
Yeah, well, they said there's no such thing as autism. Well, they just proved that there is such thing as stupidity.
So in your case, David was 8. Um, what took you so long to take him to get an official diagnosis? I mean, you said you knew ever since he was 1, but what made you take him in and say, "Hey, he's 8. I know he has autism, but I knew since he was 1." Why didn't you do it earlier? That's my question. And then I also with DeAndre, the signs were there. way before he was one. Um, when he was just a little thing, in my arm, the signs were there. I called him my lazy baby. Milestones weren't reached, like wouldn't hold his bottle. He just smiled all the time. He was quiet. He didn't want to crawl. He didn't want to roll over. Signs were there. And I have to say this, and that was way before those MMR shots. So I just didn't want to see it. But after I accepted the fact that my child had autism and knew what it was, and then I looked back, I was like, wow, it was right in my face. And
Yeah. Well, I think about my daughter with my grandson. I mean, we both feel strongly that he is on the spectrum, but she never had him evaluated, and the signs were there from at least when he was 2 years old, at least that far back, because there was a delay in his learning to talk. So I would say 2 years old, maybe even before that, really, because of the speech delay. She, got him speech therapy, and that got him talking. But you know, but she
hold
has
on
never
one
gotten him
second.
evaluated.
Sorry,
Uh,
you guys.
anyway, he's 22 years old now, and he's going to be getting married in June.
Well, congratulations. Now, how does he feel about that? Does he feel different or
Yeah, he right now he at this point he's not really open to getting evaluated for it.
okay?
At this point he doesn't want to recognize it, so
Okay.
you can't push it there.
Right,
But
exactly. Kelly says, when I'm taking care of Jordan, I wonder how someone else will care for him. It's scary. Yes, it is. No, you always have that thought. No one's going to take care of your baby like you do. You know, nobody. I don't care if they're family or not. Nobody is going to take care of your baby like you do. That thought always there. Sonia said she fell under the radar for a long. Okay. It runs in the family on her dad's side. Okay.
yeah,
My oldest son was diagnosed when he was in first grade, late 90s. Then Jordan was diagnosed with Down syndrome first at birth. Autism came around at 3 years old. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So Dinah says, once I accepted the diagnosis, meaning it was a shock at first, but then thinking that all the quirks and behaviors, that it all started to click, and then realized some of them were not him acting out. I wasn't concerned about the how, just what I needed to do to help him. Lots of reading and asking questions to the psychiatrist and therapist. I knew of autism, but not the diagnosis itself. Nathaniel was diagnosed at 11. Okay. Victoria says, I knew by the time Declan was 1 year old, and Andrew wasn't sure until he was about 3. Okay. Hi, Shamay. I hope I say that right. How are you? My son was diagnosed at 2. He is nonverbal. How old is he now, Shamay? My son, DeAndre, was nonverbal up until 9 years old, is when I heard his voice, and he said mama, of course. So he still has very little functional language, you know what I mean? Very little. Um, sometimes most people can't understand some of the things he's talking about, but mommy can. You gonna say hello to everybody since you're right here? Look down here.
hi,
Look
hi
down.
DeAndre,
Look down. Hello.
hi DeAndre.
Okay,
All
go
right.
get go. Out of the kitchen. Out of the kitchen. Out of the kitchen. Um. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Don't forget, Mr. Charles is here too.
Hi, Rachel. Yeah,
um.
yeah. I ain't no girl.
Her first sentence was at 5 years old. Okay. All right. So she didn't talk at all until she was five, or she said some words. Okay. I'm going to have to, let me go on here, Tevra, and read your comment because StreamYard doesn't let me, you know, StreamYard is something else. Let me find it in here if I can. Okay, here we go. The diagnosis was accidental. He was admitted to the ER during a meeting I was attending, and he had a seizure. He was about 7. These episodes were ignored until that point. I was familiar with mental disorders. My family was various, the medical profession. They were in the medical profession, okay, and volunteered as an assistant for several years. It took professionals 3 years before they acknowledged what I already suspected. He wasn't walking or talking between 1 and 6 and 6 milestones were absent. But without documentation, they wouldn't put him in any programs to assist me. So I advocated by reading and researching and caring for him. All right, mama. It's not good when people won't listen, especially your child. And then when you just want somebody, listen to me. I know my child. Help me.
Yeah.
Kelly says, I didn't know anything about autism with my first child. Jeremiah is a twin, and his sister was reaching milestones where Jeremiah was severely delayed. Okay. Okay. See, you're going to get on my nerve. Okay. All right. At the age of 2 years old, I had him tested for autism through our regional center, as and the psychologist told me he didn't have it, but David outsmarted him. And then when David was 8 years old, I talked to his neurologist. We got him tested for autism and was told that he has autism, and now I finally got a school diagnosis of autism. Okay. David outsmarted them. David said, you're not gonna get me. Victoria says, yes, Molly's quirks and behaviors and other diagnosis, ADHD and anxiety, is what led me to her autism. Okay. My son was nonverbal at the age of 1, and then at the age of 9, he started saying some words. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I just pushed him back in the room. Hope we're gonna see if he's gonna stay there. He's probably gonna come in here and try to get these bananas off the counter. That's his little routine at night. I need to get up and go hide him. She talked at 5, stopped talking at 10. We are working on responding and communicating. Okay. Hey, Michelle. Now, I got to go over here. Let me go back over here and get to your comment. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Just a second. Just a second. All right. Let's see where. Okay, here we go. I told the doctor that I knew he was autistic and we needed to test and finally they started. Okay, I'm losing my spot here. Told y'all I can't see, I'm squinting. Okay, across the board. But this mama knew at his first regression when he was sitting at 3 months. But he stopped about a month later. Then he started again about 9 months old. Okay. See? They just won't listen to the mamas.
Yeah, it depends on the doctor, but
Mm.
yeah, that's the thing that
Yeah. What's funny is, it's not funny. Um, DeAndre's pediatrician. Now, DeAndre's dad was actually the one that noticed the difference. Noticed things were a little bit different, and he encouraged me. We need to take him to the doctor and see what's going on. His pediatrician, you need to go to bed. Mama. Yeah, we have an appointment in the morning. Go to bed. What do you want? Mama. What? What? Mommy. Yes, DeAndre. Your mama's. Okay, we're gonna go tomorrow after you. Okay. Okay. Your mama's. Okay. So we took him to the pediatrician, and we're gonna go and explain to her. But she said, "Hey, you know, all kids don't develop the same. There's nothing wrong with them." That's what she said the first time. Um, things kept progressing, and Dad was still like something's wrong. And the second time is when she referred us to the neurologist. Hey Danielle, how are you?
hi Danielle.
Okay, no kisses, no kisses. I know you love me. Um, Tony says my son had his diagnosis at 2.5. Hi Tony. He only slept maybe 4 hours a day, split into multi different times. The first 5 years, nonverbal, but is now 9 and is talking. He is just he just has to deal with other sensory issues. Okay. Yeah, now my son won't sleep at all. Literally, he can stay up 24 hours. That's why he has to take medication. Before you ask about melatonin, doesn't work with DeAndre. Mm-mm. Yeah, Sammy is acting spoiled, girl. Every time I get up here on live, I have to pick him up, and then he wants
Yeah,
to kiss. It's like he knows he's on camera. Say hi, everybody.
woof.
Mr. Charles.
But you got to talk the dog's language.
Yeah, that's woof woof. Yeah, I have to. I literally have to hide him. He's gonna. I
Yeah, it
don't
drives
want
you
to say it too
bananas.
loud because if I say it too loud, he gonna come running in here trying to get him.
Yeah, he'll drive you bananas.
Yep. Hi, Isabel. How are you? I knew here. My son has autism and he didn't talk till he was 5, and that's only because his kindergarten teacher got him started everything. Okay, so she recognized he needed some help.
Because usually the problem with not wanting to name a food is the opposite. It's that you don't want the child to know that this is in the food. I remember going back to visit my college town about a couple of years after I graduated, and this German lady invited me over for lunch. and and I noticed she served this gelatin salad. I noticed it had tongue in it, and then I enjoyed it, and I and I started to say, but I had it, and she goes, "Shh, we call that protein salad." You know, she didn't want her daughters to hear that it had tongue in it. They wouldn't eat it if they knew.
Okay, we got some spam in here. Let me get this person out, blocked, and delete.
Yeah,
I don't know. They've been showing up a lot lately. Goodness gracious. I don't know whether they're spam bots, like robots just automatically when you get online. And here's another one, just that quick.
yeah. I've seen a lot of spammers in
Lot.
other groups. I haven't seen them too much in this group, but I've seen
Yeah,
them in other.
I'm trying to get them under control, but every time I go live, now they seem to show up more and more.
I'll comment on a post and the thing, hey, you're our lucky winner. Click on this link. You know, and so I right away reported the spam and blocked the sender.
Hmm. Victoria says, my Andrew was awake every 15 to 30 minutes. Wow. From the time he was born until he was 5 years old. Okay. He just could not get that solid REM sleep.
Yeah, like Marilyn McCoo.
What happened with Marilyn McCoo?
Last night I couldn't get to sleep at all.
So, okay. 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 So Tevra says, these stories are interesting and makes me feel confident in future decisions. My son is nonverbal and it's got difficult when my son was 21 since these agencies identifies people of that age as adults and independent. Only a only a few understand that he is not competent enough to advocate for himself. Sorry about my punctuation errors. I am trying to respond without my glass. You like me. Don't worry about it, girl. So, Tevra, you don't have anything in place? Is that what you're saying? Do you have guardianship or anything? Okay, you gotta get down. Go. Nope, I'm not picking you up anymore. And now I have a touch me not.
Yeah. You have to have something in place when you have a child who's approaching 18, and you know that individual is not going to be able to take care of himself as an adult. Is not going to be able to function, even not going to be able to function with full independence at 18. You got to do something legally, because otherwise that person is viewed legally as an adult and can do anything an adult can do.
Yeah, I'm in a process now for guardianship, going through some steps. His pediatrician already warned me that once I better get his good physical in for this year because once he turns 18, that's it for mama. I said, oh, thank you. Jaden has to have medications to sleep as well, yes. Because literally, DeAndre, and he will have full energy. The boy be on a ziggity boom. I mean, I'm like, that little brain just keeps moving. There are milestones for a reason. I don't understand why doctors are happy to see progress. However, dismissal when delayed, I don't get it. Right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Thank you,
if they're happy with
Danielle.
progress, they should be concerned about lack of progress, not dismissive about it.
Mm-hmm. 13. Okay. We are good now. It just took a minute. The notary is tired. Okay. Jordan doesn't want to sleep as well. Okay. My son was tested at 2 years old. I had a lady come to the house and evaluate him. She told me before she left that she isn't supposed to tell me that my son is autistic, but she did. Wow, really? So we didn't know better. Then he was diagnosed at 4. Oh, she wasn't officially evaluating him, I'm assuming. Then he was diagnosed at 4. They told me he had a mind of a 4-month-old. He is almost 12 and in 5th grade, going into middle school. We are having a very hard time getting what we need for our son. It's so frustrating. Yeah.
Well, in fact, if he's able to do fifth grade work, and of course that's the thing. Saying he's in fifth grade doesn't necessarily mean he's able to do fifth grade work. But if he is able, then he's made great progress. The
Yeah.
thing I say about saying a child has the saying a person, let's put it this way, a child or adult has the mind of a X number of years old is a gross oversimplification, because particularly autistic people tend to have great, what would be considered inconsistencies in the levels at which they perform in different areas. And so a person can be practically like an adult in one area and be like a 6 year old in some other area.
Hmm. Yeah. Like with DeAndre, he's 17, but uh, that mind, that intellectual ability or his abilities is that of a 6-year-old. Um, yeah. And I think in school, he's like, even though he's 12, graduating from 12th grade, special needs, of course, he's on a 2nd grade level when it comes to schoolwork.
Yeah.
Hmm. Victoria says, I'm worried I won't know if I need guardianship for my 3. How will I know if they can function as adults? You'll know. You'll
Yeah,
know.
you'll be able to see as they
Yeah.
approach 18. The
Yeah.
time they get
You
to
will
be
know.
even around 15 or so, you know, if you should have a good idea about how likely it is they'll be able to function as adults at
Mhm.
18.
Right. You will definitely know. Jaden the same way, running back and forth, making me right. Yes. Ziggity boom. Hi, Ari. Hello, everyone. I have 3 boys with autism. One is an adult, and the other are 13 and 10. Well, welcome. Welcome to our community.
Hi, Ari.
Daniel, hello. Some people get tangled up in a lot of red tape, paperwork, hassle, and bureaucracy when trying to get services for autism like speech and occupational therapy, etc. Yeah. And it shouldn't be hard for anybody when they know, hey, get out of there. When they know that our children need services, it just should be automatic. It just should that just should be a given, you know, in all areas. David is 12 years old, but he has a mind of a kindergarten first grader. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, he has made a lot of progress, but he still has a long way to go. The lady that came to the house was a higher professional. Okay.
yeah,
Okay, everybody. We are at that hour went by fast this evening. So here's an opportunity if anyone wants to come up. We have a few more minutes. If you want to come up and say something real quick, share some good news, some bad news, you got something going on for Autism Awareness Month, feel free to click on that link that I just posted in the chat and you could come on up. You want to say something inspirational, motivational, you want to share a thought or two, feel free to come on up. We'll take these last 2 minutes um, for you to share. So feel free to come on up. Um, I got guardianship for 27 my 27-year-old son when he was 18. And I have to send a what to the
I
judge.
think there's a word missing there.
Yeah.
But she has to, yeah, but every year she has to send some kind of documentation to a judge. You know, yeah,
Yeah. You know that autism goes, yeah, okay.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm 77. I ain't got over autism yet. It ain't gone away from me yet.
I'll just wave and say, have a good week from here. Okay, Victoria, thanks for
You too.
popping in.
You too, Victoria.
Um, Thankfully, was able to get early intervention for my eldest son. He got integrated into regular classes. Oh, that's awesome. Had an aide usually, but wound up graduating on time with honors in a regular curriculum.
Very
DeAndre,
good.
you go lay down? Yes, she's coming. She's coming. Get you one out of the box. She's coming. That's really good, Daniel. Um, Danielle says, have a great week, everyone. Self-care. Yes, Danielle. Walking,
Yeah.
hydration, reading, be safe. Yes. Thank you for that. Michelle says, they told me at Jaden's IEP that he understood upper grade math, but struggles with sixth grade math. Plus, he had a really lazy teacher that taught the kiddos life skills instead of the academics. Put him 2 years behind. Wow. But he is only a year behind. He is doing well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good night, Sonia. Thank you for popping in.
And probably the business of struggling with sixth grade math, it may not be so much struggling as being bored by it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, everybody, we are going to call it a night. Same place, same time next week. Please go over to the main page, show some love to all of those beautiful faces of autism that have been posted. And we will see you again next Sunday. But let's talk autism with Autism and Us. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Till next week.